In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to stay motivated to get in shape. Hey, it's Tobey here. Thanks for joining me. This video is a little bit outside the norm for videos on this TPP channel, but I do think it's an important one because staying in shape or getting into shape can help you do many other things in life. And it's definitely important in terms of your overall health. So I've got 6 really powerful strategies that you're going to need to stay motivated. Now, I'm sure that in the past you have not achieved your specific goal because you couldn't stay on that path. These 6 strategies are really going to help you. Please stick around to the end. You'll have a pretty clear understanding of exactly what you need to do. Let's get started. Okay, so today we're talking about powerful ways to stay motivated and get in shape. Number 1, do you have a really good reason to get into shape? Now, there are many reasons why you would want to do this. I think obviously looking your best is one reason, but there are many others that are even stronger than that. For example, do you want to actually do something that requires you to be in shape? For example, you want to play golf, or you want to climb a mountain, or you want to go on a pilgrimage, or whatever it is you're trying to do. Is your body in shape enough to actually accomplish that? That's a powerful reason. Another one might be to eliminate pain. Now, I totally get that I'm likely on in years compared to most people watching this video. So I do have some experience with pain, and I do realize and have learned that staying in shape is a very powerful motivator to eliminate many of the aches and pains that I've had in my life. And believe me, I've had a few. And as you get older, your motivation to actually stay in shape gets stronger, not weaker because of pain. So it's a pretty strong motivator. I absolutely don't recommend that you inflict pain on yourself in order to get in shape, because pain is not the greatest thing, but it is helpful in order for you to understand that being in shape can really help you avoid a lot of the pain. Again, I talked a little bit about looking your best. I'm not sure that's the strongest motivation, but it definitely is if you have to present and be in front of other people all the time, especially if you're in a leadership role. So try to remember that number 1 is probably the most powerful strategy to stay motivated. What's my reason to get into shape? Now, again, you have many reasons. Are those reasons strong enough to stay on the path? So number 1, absolutely important. Let's move on to number 2. You have to clear out limiting beliefs. So a limiting belief is, I can't get into shape. I can't lose weight. Because the evidence that you've seen so far is that whatever you've tried, it might work for a short period of time, but then all of your motivation goes away when it stops working. And so what you need to recognize is a lot of the creative process and a lot of the work is complete before you start to see any evidence. And we tend to lose motivation when we don't have evidence. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But right now, a limiting belief is a mindset that says something is not possible because you've convinced yourself over time that whatever you try just simply doesn't work. So what you need to do is you need to have some sayings and mantras. You need to reprogram your brain. There are some meditations that you can do. There are many things that you can do to clear out limiting beliefs. I don't have time to talk about all of them here. I do have some other videos in the TPP channel that talks about this, but I do believe that all of the beliefs that you currently have, many of them are limiting you and your potential. So try to figure out a way and learn how to clear out your limiting beliefs, because that's all they are. They're just beliefs. They're not actual fact. Number 3, you got to take some action, of course. So my recommendation is that you live by the calendar and you create a little bit of self-discipline in your life in order to stick to that calendar. So in my particular case, I go to the gym every other day. I don't have to schedule that because it's become part of my calendar. I know that I have to get up at 5:30 in order to have enough time to hit my home gym, have a shower, and prepare for the day. I do an hour. Now, You may not have your own home gym, although it's not that difficult to set up. But whatever you do, whether it's somebody else's gym or jogging or you're walking or whatever it is, stick to a calendar schedule. And what you'll find is eventually that becomes part of your consciousness, and your behavior surrounding that will strengthen and you'll become far more self-disciplined. Self-discipline is the ability to focus on what you really want, which is number one. What do I want? I want to get in shape for this specific reason, and focusing on that versus what you want in the moment, which is to sit on the couch and eat potato chips. So you have this big goal and you have your reason for doing it, but you also have these competing intentions, which are a lot easier to do. So my recommendation is strongly that you take some kind of action based on scheduling yourself. Now try to remember, I'm not an expert fitness coach or anything of the sort. I'm just somebody with a lot of experience who's been in shape for many years. Well, let's just say in and out a little bit higher in weight, a little bit lower, whatever, but I've got strong reasons to stay in shape, not the least of which is to have enough energy to carry out the things that I want to do in my life, which are a lot. Okay, number 4. Take a good look at your competing intentions and eliminate those that are not supporting your ultimate goal. In other words, if you are doing a bunch of things in your life that do not support getting into shape, please look at those, analyze them, and ask yourself, why am I still doing those things? And of course, if you have a reason to continue doing those things, then for sure, if that reason is powerful, then those things will win out over getting into shape. But what you'll find is many of the things that you're doing do not empower you and do not support your goal of getting into or staying in shape. There are many competing intentions in our lives, and they're easy to do, and we fall into that rut of doing things that don't necessarily support our ultimate goal. So my recommendation to you is to look at those things, analyze them, and ask yourself, why am I still doing these things that do not help me? Number 5, do you have any clear evidence that your getting in shape formula actually works? Now, we all know how to get into shape. Basically, exercise more and eat less. But that's not necessarily a formula, because a lot of times people are not only eating what they should be eating because they don't know what to eat, and or they don't know what exercises to do. For example, many people do a lot of cardio thinking that you'll burn calories and you'll lose weight when it actually works in reverse. Then there's your blood type. Which blood type are you and how do you eat right for that? So there's all of these formulas. Obviously, weight loss companies, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. You have to figure out what actually works for you. So my suggestion is you get some help with this. Get some training, because if you're trying to figure it out on your own, you may not actually know a formula that works. In my particular case, I've taken some private training with people over the years, and I've learned through them and through educating myself what actually works. Now, of course, some of it is trial and error, but most of it is getting advice from somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. Where a lot of people are just sort of like, well, I'm going to eat a little bit less, but I'm still eating the wrong things, and I'm going to exercise a little bit more, but I'm not doing the correct exercises that work for me. So again, do you actually have any evidence that your current formula works? Take a look at that. If it's not working, then look at the evidence that you've been given, analyze that, and make sure that you get some advice from experts. Okay, let's move on to the last one, and I think this is the most important one. You absolutely have to celebrate your wins. So what is a win? Well, a win in terms of getting into shape is maybe a dress size or a pant size, something like that. Celebrating that. I think if you're celebrating every 5 or 10 pounds, that might not be the best formula, but definitely getting into some new clothes, maybe taking a better picture, maybe doing the thing that in number 1 you absolutely want to do, like learning to play golf. Those are wins. And so the stronger the feeling of winning is, the more you will learn over time to celebrate that. And what is a celebration? Well, it could be anything, a high five with your lovely wife. Whatever it is, just make sure that you do it, because part of life is to celebrate our accomplishments. And if you're not celebrating them, then you're going to lose a lot of motivation and momentum. I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any expert advice that you want to give us in the comments below, please go ahead and do that. If this video was helpful to you, you can make a comment about that. Or if you have any questions about it, I would love to hear from you. And finally, if you have any recommendations for other videos that you want me to make, please let me know. I'd appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time.